Hello, Gemini, and welcome back to Bohemian Path Tarot. I'm Jen, and today we are doing June tarot readings. I've got the Unfolding Path Tarot here. I'm going to go ahead and give the deck a really good shuffle for you. I am going to skip ahead or fast forward through the shuffle, and I will meet you on the other side for your reading. See you there. Okay, Gemini, let's see what's coming ahead. Ooh, Two of Cups, Justice, Five of Wands, and Hanged or Hanged One or Hanged Man. That's where we're starting. I tripped over my speech with this one because in traditional tarot decks, this card is called the Hanged Man. This particular deck makes allowances for more gender inclusive language, and it's just called hanged here, which to me feels, I love gender inclusive language, but it feels a little unfinished. I like the decks that call it Hanged One. That feels more sort of complete, a complete thought to me. So I'm going to refer to this card as the Hanged One. I do love the art for this one because this character does not look pained. This character looks like they are practicing gymnastics. You know, sometimes the Hanged One looks like they've been hanging upside down and maybe aren't paying attention to the fact that they're upside down, or they've gotten themselves into a bit of a pickle. But this character looks like they've chosen to get a new vantage point, or they've chosen to be more flexible, and that's the approach that's called for in this time. And when we start in this place of flexibility, we can get a vantage point that will help us flourish and find maybe opportunities we wouldn't have seen or wouldn't have found or wouldn't have been open to. And as we go through this reading, it looks like there are some opportunities that are coming up that come from this newfound flexibility that this card that you are just about to experience or just about to come out of grant you. So I congratulate you on this this phase of this practicing this flexibility, this gymnastics phase. Usually when we get into the Hanged One phase, it's out of necessity. So what comes before the Hanged One phase is sometimes not fun or not our favorite phase in life. But out of it comes a skill set, comes muscle, new muscles or new skills, new talents that allow for opportunities and growth and advancement. Now, moving on to the next card we have here, it's the Two of Cups. If we can get this in focus, let's see if we cover up. No, doesn't want it. There we go. Okay. So obviously this looks like a card of connections. Now, for those of you looking for a romantic connection or to deepen a romantic connection, this is a really good sign. This Two of Cups typically is a card that supports that sort of moment or need or scenario. It can also highlight a time when other sorts of relationships are deepened. They can be finding a tribe, like a group of like-minded people, like a cosplay group or a chess club or even a church or a therapy group where you can really connect if you have some issues you need to work on, finding some other people that you can kind of connect with and share yourself and feel like there are others who understand kind of this stuff you're dealing with. It could be finding a BFF or connecting with someone in that way, or even a work colleague, someone that you can kind of bond with at the workplace over whatever weirdness or trials and tribulations you have there. But for most folks, it's about being able to be truly yourself in a connection, a particular one-on-one type of relationship that is really significant to you. For a lot of folks, this is going to be in some way either a romantic relationship, a family relationship, or, like a parent-child, a sibling relationship, something like that. A really tight connection where you get to be your weird self and you get to be fully yourself, and you get to support somebody else being fully themselves, and sort of the celebration of that. And interestingly, the next card, the Justice card, is another kind of higher octave version of connecting in sort of a way, if we can get this in here. Hello? Maybe not. See if well, you'll just have to take my word for it that the Justice card is like Our Lady Justice character, with the sword and the balanced scales. It looks like a Libra. It's also a card for Libra, your sister air sign. But it tends to connecting in a similar way that this card does. But as far as our connecting with contracts, how we confirm what we're bringing to contracts. So while this is connecting emotionally in a heart space, and the kind of being conscious of how we emotionally connect with others, this is how we sort of contractually connect with others, knowing that when we make a connection, even if it's emotional, but it could also be in terms of jobs or hiring a contractor or hiring a nanny or whether you're the hirer or the hiree, whenever we commit to a contract with another person, it's in our interest to ensure that we understand the contract that we're making, that we have a responsibility to the other person and the other person has a responsibility to us, and that we need to be sure that we are signing on or confirming that we understand the agreement, that we are sharing. So especially if it's an emotional contract, that we are stating our needs, that we are bringing something to the emotional contract, and we are getting what we expect out of the emotional contract. If it's a job or if we've hired someone to do something for us, that we are clear about what we are paying for and what we are getting for what we are paying. If we are doing tarot readings for a friend's birthday party, or, doing some other sort of contract work for a friend, or going out, starting our own business, whatever it is, that we're clear on what our terms are on our side of the contract, what we're getting for our services, and so when this card shows up, it's very much about being clear about contractual issues. And it reminds me, because sometimes I am not comfortable in asking for what I'm worth in relationships or sometimes in jobs. I don't always want to ask for a raise when maybe I deserve a raise, or I don't want to be a diva in situations where maybe I should ask for more, or maybe I should be clear about what I'm worth. So I would say, Gemini, this is a good time to make sure that you are getting what you deserve in your contracts. And this could be emotionally, this could be on the job, or any other place where you're exchanging anything with another person or organization. Now, I I think this is probably not only emotionally, because the next card we have here is the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands is a little bit more fiery. I tend to see that come up often in workplace environments where maybe there's a little bit of chaos on the job. And maybe there's some workplace friction because someone has moved on, like a boss or a coworker, and there's a little bit of confusion about leadership roles, or who's leading which team, or and maybe for some other reason there's a lot of people with opinions, but nobody's really taking the helm, or everybody thinks, people don't want responsibility, and, or there's some sort of confusion about who's doing which project or something like that. It could also be a family situation, like, say, wedding planning, and where the mother-in-law is getting too involved, or a mother is getting too involved with you know, holding sort of financial issues over the bride to be's head and wanting to have too much say, and that kind of a thing. Or maybe a bride to be is being kind of too fussy about what the bridesmaids are going to look like, or having to lose weight or cut their hair or something like that. It could be that kind of a situation. It's kind of a frictiony card. The answer to this Five of Wands card is about a letting go of ego, because it's kind of a clash. It's ultimately a clash of ego cards. There is success on the other side of this Five of Wands. This Five of Wands is kind of sandwiched between two very happy cards, but it's kind of a little spot in the middle where it's people are kind of struggling to find their place between between these two sort of happy events, and in the planning, or the sort of the project management of happy events. There's a little bit of ego issues. So I would say, there's so much other happiness sort of going on earlier in the reading. Gemini, I would just remind you that to hold firm to what you know to be true about what you deserve and what you bring to a situation, and not to let your ego sink, and get you involved in. And Gemini, you're typically not a firebrand anyway, so let the fiery signs, have their ego moment. You know what is true, and you can kind of craft your message. You can say something about what your worth is, and what you bring to the situation, and what you deserve, in a clear and concise manner, and just not get too bogged down in this kind of melee. It looks to me like there might be some people around you who have ego attachments to certain things, but ultimately, no matter your gender or kind of identification there, I'm getting very much this sense of you're the sort of regal person in the middle. It feels very much like there's a situation that you're kind of queen for a day, or you're kind of the leader, or the, even if you really even if you really aren't the queen of the day, like you have the skills or the tools to clear it all up. So you just don't have to get bogged down in whatever the drama is here. And just on the other side, of this drama is a lovely victory for you. So this is actually a really powerful reading, Gemini. I hope you love it. We start from a place of flexibility, giving you insight, tools to kind of manage and see new opportunities, a moment or a scenario or a phase where going deeper, making better connections with a particular individual, or possibly a group of like-minded folks. There's a moment here where you're very clear, or where you can take a moment to be very clear about what you bring to a situation, either a job or a relationship, or it might be a time of reflection where you do this across the board with relationships and jobs, or you kind of take stock. It is your birthday month, so it might be worth taking stock in making sure that you are getting what you deserve to those contracts where you are bringing your whole smart, charming self, and cutting out, the riffraff or the dead weight. And moving forward, it looks like there might be an event or a party or some sort of project where some folks around you have an ego attachment, wanting their own way, or there's some sort of drama, but your own insight, your own capacity to see the more logical, frankly, the more evolved approach, and your ability to communicate that clearly with these skills you have gained will lead you and this team or your family or whatever this is to a victory on the other side of this spot of drama. Whew, Gemini, I hope you like your reading. I hope it inspires you. I hope it carries you forward through June. And if you would like to let me know whatever this is, I would love to hear about this spot of drama, not just because I'm nosy, but maybe a little bit because I'm nosy. But in any case, I hope you're encouraged. Thank you so much for dropping by. And until next time, take good care. Bye for now.